everybody, lovely to see you. As you've probably spotted, I'm sitting out in the garden today, and that's because I want to tell you about something called Garden Day. Now, Garden Day happens this Sunday, the 10th of May, and it was an initiative set up a few years ago, and it's a day when gardeners across the UK are encouraged to down tools, put on a flower crown, grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine, and just to sit and enjoy their gardens. Whatever you've got or wherever you are, everybody's welcome to join in, just like some of these celebrities that you can see in the pictures coming along. And it's just to take a bit of time out and enjoy actually being in your garden.
So down tools and pop on a homemade flower crown.
And let's raise a glass to our gardens.
Anyway, if you're going to be wearing a flower crown on Sunday for Garden Day, we'd better get up to the studio and I'll show you how to make one. Come on. Here we are, let's get started. And we're using our old friend, the ivy vine, that we used to make the former in the bottom of the mug arrangement. So here we are, got a couple of bits. They've already got some nice leaves on, that's absolutely fine. First job, get it measured to the size of our head. So you basically go around the crown. So this a flower crown sort of sits on your forehead. So I'm pinching it together with my thumb and finger at the back. Okay, then I'm going to keep pinching that, lift it off, and as you know, ivy is nice and pliable, so I'm just going to weave and wind those ends around, and there, I've got my flower crown shape. But just for extra security, I am going to tie these ends in, just so that it doesn't unravel completely once we've got all the flowers on. So the sorts of things you might have lying around at home. If you're a gardener, you've probably got some garden twine. That's perfectly okay to use. I'm actually going to use, I thought I'd try some wool. Ooh, you could go for a really fluffy wool or a chunky wool and make it a real feature of the flower crown. Go mad, go, use your imagination. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is tie these ends in. And I'm just going to hold that with my thumb, leave a little end, and just bind the wool around. Okay, and then we can tie it off. And when you tie, you need to do a reef knot. There we are. So let's just check. Yep, that fits. Now, you can put the flowers on so they go all the way round, but I usually start from about behind the ears, if you like, as if you're sort of starting here, which is probably where I just tied that little knot. Okay, got lots of bits and bobs on here. Some flowers, some seed heads, some bits of foliage, bits and bobs. So what you need to do, and we need to start making up some little bunches, as if we were going to fit some bunches together. So I'm pinching them in my finger and thumb. I even like little seed heads, just to add texture. About that much. You probably need about 1/2 inch to work with. So you take your flower crown, hold your flowers on. If you find it easier to do it one stem at a time, that's fine. Again, tuck the wool under your thumb and start binding. Don't worry about that loose end. If it gets wound, you actually want that to be wound in to give it some, and you start binding. So you're binding over and placing one piece of wool next to the other, not round and round over the top, otherwise you'll end up with big lumps. Well, that's pretty secure. So now I'm going to put, this is a heuchera leaf. I'm going to put that on. Round and round. I've got a lovely hellebore seed head I'm going to put on there. I'm binding them quite close to the flower, because otherwise if you try and bind it too low down, this is going to move about. So I'm binding it quite close to the neck of the flower or the leaf that I'm putting on, and again binding round. Okay, so don't let go of that end, and you can see that these two stems are quite long, so they don't need to be. Just snip them off. So I'm getting quite short. I'm going to join on another piece of wool. Left over right, right over left. There, made a nice little reef knot. Okay, just take that round, and then you've only got that length to work with. Okay, so I'm going to lay a little Senecio leaf on. And these are nice. These are the seed pods, seed heads from grape hyacinths, you know, the little blue grape hyacinths. Keep binding, keep binding, keep binding. You can pull it quite tight. You're not going to harm the parts, because the wool is lovely and soft. It's actually a brilliant way of doing it. So I'm putting in one of those nice geum flowers. Binding probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 times over, just to hold it tight. So we're starting to get a little bit of shape. There we are, I think that was the middle. You see how it's coming along? Here's my traily end. It's coming along, getting quite a bit on there. Okay, and so you carry on adding and adding and adding. Well, I think we're nearly there, because that was where I tied the end at the beginning. So we just need a little bit to cover this, and then we can tie off. So I'm just going to put a little bit of marjoram over that bit, tie those ends in, and then to finish off, just going to hold it and make a loop and pull the end through. So make a loop, pull the end through, make a loop and pull the end through. That should hold it for long enough. Tidy up these rough ends. Just show you the inside of there. We've got a continuous strip going. You can see where I've sort of tried to keep a sort of repeating pattern. So I've got lights and darks and plenty of orange in there. So let's pop it on and see what we've got. Whoop, need a mirror. There we are. One flower crown. Aha! And here's one I made earlier for Simon. He's not getting away without wearing one. Now, if you want to make yours the day before, or you've got several to make for different members of the family, so they don't go all floppy till you're ready to wear them, if you keep them in an airtight container in a cool, dark place and give them a little spray with water before you put them in there. I don't know if you can come in, Simon, and see. I've given that a jolly good spray. This has been out in the garage for a few hours in the cool. And I've done slightly different ones for Simon. I've used up some of my bigger tulips, so more kind of chunky individual stems. So if you're going to join in the fun on Sunday and make a flower crown and then sit in your garden and enjoy it rather than doing any gardening, you could take a selfie and send it to the Garden UK website, or you could send it to me. You could send it on Facebook, which is Garden Gate Rugby on Facebook, or you can send me a link on your Instagram stories and just tag me at Garden Gate Rugby, or you can send it via an email to sue@gardengaterugby.co.uk. But even if you're not going to make a flower crown, maybe you could just stick a flower behind your ear and have a nice glass of wine. Whatever. Have a lovely Sunday. Have a happy garden day. And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Here we go. Love your flower crown.
Oh, thank you very much. Love yours.
Love yours too. Happy garden day, everyone.
Happy garden day. All the best.